Morning, knife nerds. So, we're gonna do another Civivi review. Why? Because I love the brand. Yes, I love my Microtechs and Axials and Benchmades and all that good stuff. But I am a sucker for a good deal, and where there's quality. It's not just it's cheap. There's knives that are not expensive, but they are very well made. There's a lot of value in this brand. This is I got a ton of. I have probably more Spydercos than anything. Although I got a lot of Bokers and I got a bunch of steel. I've got a lot of good knives. What's in my pocket? CJRB Pyrite, which has one of the smoothest freaking actions of any knife I've ever owned. It's just ridiculous. But that's a great little knife. But I love Civivis. They are the sub-brand of We Knives. And they're not copycats, they're not clones, they're their own designers. They'll partner with their own in-house designers. They've partnered with some others, like the one that I did more recently. I forget which freaking model this is, but it's a Ray Laconica design. I've got a review of that. Go look on my channel from a couple weeks ago. But really, just really nice materials, very well made. And so what this is going to be a revisit of one I did when this first came out. And it's not that I didn't like it, but if I'll link the video somewhere up here in the corner or whatever. But my initial review of the Brazen, I was a little bit spoiled by some of the other knives that I had from Civivi, like the Elementum. I didn't feel like the materials and the fit and finish and design was quite as good as that. And at the time, I think I said, it was really good for a $50 knife, but it felt like a $50 knife, whereas knives like this Elementum and some others feel like they're punching way above their weight class. So, in any case, they've come out with a newer version, and we're going to open it up together. We're going to look at it and see, is it better? Is it up to what I would expect from Civivis, like the Riffle, like whatever one that is, like my Cetos, like the Elementum, like the fixed blade Elementum. These are all excellent. This is what I really like about Civivi, is that they use good steels. They have good grinds. The jimping is just enough. The fit and finish, all the beveling, all the extra machining that goes through to make sure that this is not just a stamped piece of metal with rough edges or gouge marks or anything like that. It's all properly smooth. Everything's beveled. Everything is just really well put together and very well executed. When I had the Brazen, it was in a black wash and like a reddish G10, and it just felt more like a Kershaw. It didn't feel as good as some of these others. Not even close, honestly. So this one is supposed to be a little bit different. Do not eat. Tell me what to do. You are not my supervisor. Comes in a nice box. Well, I mean, it comes in a box. Comes in a nice little carry pouch, though. So you got your knife. You've got some stickers. You got a fairly good size little microfiber. God, I gotta have like 50 of these things now. So then you get your warranty card, crap like that. Don't really care much about that. I don't carry that. I carry the knife. So what is this one? This one is the Brazen, but it is... Ooh, that's nice. Already I can tell I like this more. The blade steel on this is this D2? The original one was D2, although it kind of looks like it might be the Sandvik, the C27. I guess we'll get to that in a minute. I'll pull up some specs over here, which I always forget to do. Bear with me as I go over here. We'll go to the Amazons. We'll go to my orders. And let's see... Ring cameras, new penis pump. What do we got? Civivi Brazen. All right, cool. This one is... What's the steel on this? Does it say? Yeah, it's D2. Okay, good. Because it looks and feels kind of like this one. I mean, as far as the finish, but I guess that they can make whatever finish they want on any blade. Made me think it was maybe the Sandvik steel, but it's using D2. It is a liner lock, and it's got a really nice burlap micarta. They use different kinds of micarta. There's this sort of thicker, more burlap kind of weave that has a different kind of texture and feel. Then you've got your Elementums that have a good fabric feel, but it's a very tight weave. It's a very very tight pattern, close together. Then you got the riffle, which has a tight weave, but it's under more of the epoxy of the whatever the hardness is in there. What's the word I'm looking for? Damn it. Anyway, the resin. So you've got that. This, it's burlap, but it's actually like you feel all the actual fibers. You're feeling that, so that's really cool. The blade is 3.5 inches with a 3.3 cutting edge, so it's a little on the bigger side. It weighs around, I think it's closer to 4 ounces. It's not a lightweight, but it's not heavy either. The Micarta's pretty well. It's not a thick Micarta slab, and the liners are drilled and milled inside for lightness. It is on ball bearings. Action is very sweet. It has a flipper, and it's got a thumb stud. I'd rather honestly, I'd just rather have the one. Give me one or the other. I know people like choices and stuff, but you can use it either way you want. It really does just fly open. You don't have to flick it or do anything. Jimping's good. For my size hand, I can get a grip on it without that point digging into me, so that's really good. You have a reversible pocket clip that is quite deep carry, right to the end there, and you've got your screws are completely flush mount, so they are recessed. Everything else looks to be T8 all the way around, which is nice. Yeah, those are T8. The little ones inside might be T6s. So it looks like T6 for the pocket clip. Really nice, kind of a bead blast, semi-gloss almost finish. It's a nice Tonto edge. Not a lot of belly, so this might not have as good slicing as, something like that. But, as a pocket knife, you're going to cut things and stuff. It's going to work just fine. Let me grab a slice of paper. How sharp did it come out of the box? Lately, the Civivis have come in razor sharp, and this was another complaint of the one that I had, was that out of the box, it really wasn't that great of an edge. I had to put one on there. Oops. It's not perfect. I'm going to strop it just to make sure it's all deburred. Really nice stabby point, though. That is a wicked sharp point. Push test. That's what's weird. It actually does the push test just fine. Or it did. Maybe I got a couple burrs. Maybe I got to see where it is on the... Yeah, we're going to strop that. I think that'll clean that edge up. So it is better than the other one, but it's not Civivi's best sharpening job of the ones that I've received. So, do I like it? Yeah. This feels a lot more premium. The Micarta is better than the G10. The blade grind, just the blade looks better in the black wash. The action seems a little bit smoother. Yeah, it just drops down. No wobble in any direction. That's good. That's a nice little pocket knife. I like that a lot. I like the way that it sits in the hand. I'll say it's not as ergonomic as this, but with these extra contours, I know that if I had to stab into something, my hand locks in a little bit more, and it's going to be less likely than sliding up. But it does feel really good. So I'm definitely going to give that a thumbs up. Blade centering, perfect, right out of the box. So other than me just needing to run this over a strop real quick, it is sharp, but it's got a couple burrs on the edge that we're catching. I just need to go a few times and just clean that up. And that's going to be a really, you can hear that. That's a really sharp edge. So in any case, I guess my lunch break is over. Work is blowing me up, so we'll get back to that. But yeah, it's a really nice design. It's a really nice improvement. The G10 felt cheap. The backspacer here is G10. And it's definitely it's a definite improvement. The old one, it was like the spacers, not the spacers, but the slabs, the scales, the inner ones, the frame. They were black washed too, and the edges just felt rough. It didn't have that. You go back and watch it. It just did not have that fit and finish that the Elementum and some of these other ones that I'm kind of using as the benchmark do. And this one just does. So it's the same knife. All they did was change the finish on the blade and the handle scales, but everything else seems to have done a better job. And so I like this a lot. So we're going to go from before to a meh to, yeah, this is back where I would expect. And frankly, it was the only Civivi I've ever owned that gave me that kind of, it's nice enough, but I ended up giving it away. It didn't stay in the collection the way that these others have. And now this one will. That's a really much nicer knife. This was how much? $52 or $49 or something like that. What did I pay for this one? $52 on the nose plus shipping or tax. So like $55 or $56 from Amazon Prime. We'll put a link in the description. But this doesn't feel like a $53 knife. Doesn't feel like an $80 knife. Like most of the Civivis, if you're used to handling US-made knives and stuff, you'd go, oh, if this was a Benchmade, you'd go, oh, this is maybe one of their lower-end knives because of the D2 steel. But if this was made by Benchmade, and honestly, the fit and finish and the quality is if you picked up a Benchmade, especially if you're talking about a bug out with the cheap plastic handles, you'd go, this is the more premium knife. Yet this is $52 and the Benchmade's $145, right? This feels more on par with the Spyderco. When you feel the fit and finish, how nice it is, how all the edges are just, I mean, I don't know if the camera's really picking it up, but usually in these back areas, like, you know, the part out here that you see most of the time is really nicely polished, but then you get in here and there's rough machining marks. There just aren't. The only place you see any grinding is on the surface where it has to engage with the lock. Everything about this, every little piece in there, the jimping, everything is smooth. The edges are all symmetrical. They're all even. There's no weird gaps. The machining on the pivot is nice. This is a really well-made knife. If you say, yeah, but it's Chinese, shut up. Who cares? So is your iPhone. If you don't like it, then get rid of everything in your house is made in part or in whole in China. If you're so anti-China, then just get rid of that. Anyway, beautiful knife, beautiful knife. Highly recommended. If you want a nice Tonto, and you can get this with a clip point or drop point or something in between, you can get this in a different blade. I actually don't have a ton of Tontos anymore, so it's nice just to have something different. I like how that just drops down. That is just a really good, you got a nice swedge, you got nice angles. It's just a really beautiful knife. You got that tip, you got your secondary tip, so if you're cutting that way, you don't have as much belly, but it's a nice pocket knife. It sits good in the hand, and that Micarta, even though this is the same price, it's $3 more than the old one, it feels like it's $50 more. I'm not exaggerating. It's a good knife. So anyway, that is the new Civivi Brazen. It's not new in that they've given it like a model number, like, oh, it's the second revision or something. It's just, this is the Micarta version. And for whatever reason, they stepped up their game since that first run of the G10 models that I had. Vast, vast improvement. Very good knife, very well balanced, very comfortable. And I'm going to enjoy using that. So anyway, there you go. Hit like, subscribe. And soon I was approached by Artisan Cutlery. They want me to be an affiliate, so they may start sending me samples of their new knives to do reviews and stuff on, as well as getting a little piece of the cut, you know, if anybody buys the knives using my affiliate link. So, hey, things are starting to happen here with the channel eventually. It's only one knife maker. It'd be great if Ducati reached out to me. Said, hey, we want to send you a new bike every quarter for you to review. I'd be like, sign me up. I am your guy. Right now, we're just going to, you know, start with Chinese knives. But y'all got to start somewhere, right? Anyway, everybody, have a good one. We'll talk to you.